Welcome to Oliver's Garden. When you're in your kin, can I take you? How many people?
3?
3?
3.
With a French am I going to set?
I thought you were Oliver.
You are not very considerate. I'm typing this into an imaginary pad. Come on, get with it.
We're kin now,
Okay,
though,
okay.
so you do need to be able to sit with us.
Right. 4.
It's
Okay,
weird.
4.
It's weird because you only have triangle tables with 3 seats per table, so you can't really have 4.
I mean,
to
he can
begin
sit with me on the big bottom side.
Oh, that's true. It's an obtuse
I
triangle.
mean, it is definitely not an equilateral triangle.
Well, here at Oliver's Garden, when you're in your kin, you get your complimentary garlic bread.
We get
your complimentary garlic bread brought to you by Lay's potato chips.
What about the all-you-can-eat red sticks? The French fries that are already tossed in ketchup. The all-you-can-eat red sticks.
That's the whole reason we came
That's
here.
the only reason I'm here
That
is
is
for
the
the
whole
all-you-can-eat
reason we
red
came here.
sticks.
The Buffalo style tossed French fries in ketchup. Yeah,
That's why I'm here. That and the super salad. I want a super salad, and I want all-you-can-eat red sticks, and then I want to leave. I want an IOU because we're family now. We're kids. I'm not paying the bill.
By God.
well, at Oliver's Garden, when you're in your kin.
Oh God! What?
I don't understand the
That's all
potato
you need to
chip.
know.
Two fingers in.
Hey, everybody, I'm Dane Holland.
I'm Austin Shazam Pfeiffer.
I'm Otto, the car ice skater, Cogdell.
And I'm Austin Tiny, and I caught about a gallon of water in the shower today, Zint.
Oh.
Yeah, we all know.
Yeah, we do.
We all know.
Yep.
I swear it was like a gallon.
We're Nerded Through the Grapevine, the podcast where 4 best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts, past, present, future nerd culture. And can I begin, first off, with our new Patreon member's name, by the way? Can I introduce?
Hold on, after I mute my phone,
Oh, okay.
because I forgot.
I'm waiting.
After the chili.
Excellent.
Oh, hurtful.
Okay, we're good. We're good now.
Josh Rankin, wherever you are out there in the world, probably soaring above us on your wings of glory and watching as we record this. Thank you for being a Patreon member. He said, here's $5, and I still need to get him a sticker. I got to get John Lamb a sticker, but I'm going to see John Lamb at his baby shower this weekend, so I get to bring him his sticker.
Can I just say, John Lamb? I don't know what you do as a profession, but you're missing. You have been teed up for the best folk singer or like contemporary Christian artist name ever. Like I don't know you, but like just imagine every time that I hear your name, I think like my mom is going to say, "Hey, have you heard this new John Lamb album?"
He's the lead singer of Lamb of God.
Ooh, I don't. Yes, it's.
I've met him. It's true.
That's like that episode of that '70s show where they're like, "Yeah, Judas Priest. It's definitely Christian music. You should listen to it." And she goes and she cranks her music up and puts the candles on and everything. Gets in the bathtub and she just hears the.
I can't imagine what would happen if we had Rankin and Josh Rankin and John Lamb, say J&J, in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what would happen. It would probably be illegal.
Rankin and myself actually worked at the.
Yeah,
You
okay,
you
that's a
were
good
did
point.
you work with him?
I did. I did.
Okay, I did as well
Wait, really?
at the YMCA.
Oh, I don't think I
Young
knew
man.
that.
Yes.
When you were a young man?
No. Well, yeah. Actually, when we were
That's
young
a
men.
funny joke,
Yeah.
Otto.
I
That
do.
was really funny.
Hey, that's why I'm here.
Yes.
That's why I'm here.
Actually, when we were, we worked there at the same time. He had a beard, and it was a big beard, and I don't know. I don't know if he still grows the big beard. I know he always has a
down at one
beard.
point.
But he had a big beard at one point. And while he was working at the YMCA, the director actually told me, because I was like the assistant director, but not actually paid like one. He said, I probably wouldn't hire him if I didn't know him. His beard's just too big. I was like,
It's too intimidating.
he's such a sweet boy, though.
They didn't want him to end up owning the place after the week was over with.
Yeah.
Was it a girthy beard?
It
was girthy,
like
veiny. Yeah.
Robin.
Like
Very
thick.
I mean,
vascular.
wavy.
For sure.
He grows one of them like wavy boys too.
Moist-tipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well maintained. Well maintained.
Veined.
Also, he loves Crystal.
Oh, good.
Is that what her name is?
No, the
The
restaurant.
burgers.
Oh.
The little bitties.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
Well, Rankin, this one's for you. Sorry to put that on you, Otto, because this episode was your idea.
Oh.
And now it's for Josh Rankin. So
Okay, well,
pressure's on.
I hope you like it. While I was contemplating life's great mysteries, I was thinking, what if when you went to a restaurant, let's say you're like mid-tier, like your Applebee's, your Chili's, your Cheddars, you're like sit down, think it's fancy when you're poor kind of restaurant. What would its like video game loading screen be? Like you're loading into it like a level in a video game, and what's the music that it would play?
Look, when you're poor, if it's a restaurant that you sit down at all, it's automatically
If someone
fancy.
comes to you to ask you what you want,
Yes.
you've made it.
Yeah, if
there's
you
not-
can see them in person and it's not just through a speaker, fancy.
If there's a way to get food and you have to get out of the car, yes. But
Yeah, if there's no option.
right. So I was thinking like one of my favorite poor fancy restaurants is Cheddar's. I love it. Has a little bit of everything. But it's just good. And I imagine if I was loading into Cheddar's, it would be like your mom's contemporary Christian playlist or like your mom's like pop playlist. Like you would never listen to it on your own.
Yeah, John Lamb would appear on there like 6-7 times.
Mom
Right.
pop. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like there'd be like some Jason Mraz, some Switchfoot.
Some carpenters.
Yeah, like something like that. Like that's how I imagine
James
Cheddar's.
Taylor probably be on that a little bit too.
Is
Like,
it
just-
because it's not the best things you've heard, but if it's on, it's fine?
Yes,
Is
and
that why?
It's nothing that you would listen to, but you have the memory of like that tastes like, or that's like what mom did. So I like it just because like there's a good memory attached to it. Because like all their food is like scratch made, like stuff that you would make from home.
Right.
I think that's like their whole shtick. Mm-hmm. So like it's one of those like, oh yeah, I remember having lasagna. It's not good lasagna, but it's lasagna,
Now there's spazania they used to have. Used to be the reason for heart season. Like it was like 3,000 calories, but it was delicious.
yes.
When we started putting the caloric intake numbers on all of the items on the menu, they took away the spazania. There's the numbers don't go this high.
Wait, we got to tell somebody how much this has in it? Yeah, okay.
We can't afford that much font on
Right.
the page, so they had to take that away. But I think I see where you're coming from, because whenever I think of it, spoiler alert, I work there, and the music that we play most of the time, it just kind of, you don't even know it's there
Hold on,
until like
there's
maybe one
music
line
there?
happens. Yeah, see?
Yeah,
Like, it's like white
Wow.
noise, and that's what you're saying. White mom
Right.
music.
It's so inoffensive that even if you're like, I do not like this style of music, you can't be mad at it. Like because it fades into the background so easily.
You know what it kind of fits in with? It kind of fits in with that 95.9 like Delilah.
Oh my God.
It kind of fits
Oh
into
God,
that.
that's perfect.
Like Delilah is the manager there. like that's just the vibe that they want to keep at the Cheddar's Casual Cafe or Scratch Kitchen. What era are we in?
I don't know, man. It's all the same. It's all the same damn thing. Now, whenever the country stuff comes on, that's when, and we're slow and I can actually hear it, that's when I get a little irritated.
Yes.
Because it will play the same thing all the time. But then again, like White Mom Radio, you're going to hear the same songs, probably the same 25 songs.
See,
Now, is it that modern country that they
Yes.
play?
Yes.
Oh, that's
It's
not country.
No, it's not like good classic kind of country
It's like
stuff.
Luke
It's
Combs.
very, very new, very pop country kind of stuff.
Gross.
But it's not that good. But that's just because I dislike it that much. But I would say the average person doesn't even know it's happening.
I work in retail as well, and we have probably the same songs that come on ours. And whenever the country song comes on, because also what people don't realize is when you work at these establishments, you're listening to the same songs all the time. I have heard the same songs so many times at work because they play multiple times a day, and then we play the same stations, that it literally gets to the point where I know these songs so well and I hate it.
Look, okay, so I work at the factory of sadness, okay? And for 10 hours a day, I'm forced to listen to the radio. So I get it. Now, that being said, the new production, well, he's not new, but the production supervisor has seized control of the radio now. And he's found some new stations. And 2 of which are actually pretty mad decent. One of them is like 105.5 The Mullet.
Wait, what?
Wait a minute. Really? Wait a minute. We got to find this.
Is it just like butt rock?
No, it's like classic old school, like drinking country.
Hell yes.
I did not hear one single repeat song in the 10 hours that I listened to it.
That's what I'm talking
That
about.
was amazing, as opposed to the crap before where I used to like Jelly Roll. Now I've heard his songs so many times that I don't care if he's the long-haired son of a sinner. I really don't. I could care less.
Yep.
But
I mean, he only talks to God when he needs a favor.
I know. It's like, come on, man.
These are lyrics, yes?
yes.
Okay, I'm not familiar.
The
Apologies.
ones, yeah, they're just they're on the hit list right now, and they're on repeat. And with DJing anything, of course, you're going to be
You got
requested.
it.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be requested the hits. So, I mean, and he's a sweet dude. Apparently,
He is. He's a super cool dude. Like, as a person, love to hang out with the man.
and I like
He lives
Chris.
in Nashville.
I like Chris Stapleton, but Tennessee Whiskey is the single most overplayed song.
Yes.
that
You
I
sing it.
Tell me about it.
Like on stage.
I don't do the runs like he does, and I put my own spin on it, and I do what I want to do with it. But
It's good. You do a great job.
it's
And as a wedding DJ, I'm sure.
here's the ting. Here's the ting.
Show me the thing.
The ting is,
Oh, God, put it away.
I think that he is the Cheddar's Casual Cafe. I think Tennessee Whiskey.
Oh, my God.
I think he's the thing.
Oh my
I
God,
think
that is it.
Yeah,
Yes.
like an overplayed country song that blends into the background, and you don't really notice it unless it's really quiet and you're alone. And
Right,
just imagine
because-
Dane's wiping down the bar or something like that. He used to work in the bar area. Like it's quiet now. Everybody's kind of gone, and he's wiping down the bar. I used to spend my nights out in the bar room, and he's like wiping down the countertop and everything, and just closing it down.
You'll catch yourself humming along to it, and then the second you notice, you're like, "Oh God, this song again."
And he had never met Carly at this point, and she just comes to the bar area and sits down real quick, and they start talking, and she orders an entire order of loaded cheese fries for herself. And
No ranch, though.
No ranch.
She's
though.
not gonna have any
She
ranch
has
with
a
that.
side of barbecue sauce.
Why would you
on
put
it.
ranch with that?
That's what comes with
See,
it.
she would have that same conversation.
I don't
with you.
need a condiment.
That's she would
The
say. Same
cheese
thing.
and bacon are the condiments.
So Dane thinking she's just going to, have a couple bites and then get it to go. I mean, she ends up having an entire conversation with him while this song is happening. She's somehow in a 3-minute song finished this entire order.
That's impressive.
This
She's
is
a
what you
small
see
lady.
in your head whenever you imagine the stereotypical.
Yeah,
And she
because
stays-
it's a montage.
And
It's a montage sequence.
she stands up and she unbuckles her belt a little bit, puts it on the next loop, and then walks out of the restaurant. And it's
Never said a word.
And it ends on Cheddar's Casual Cafe. Boom, down, 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 down.
Hey, you didn't pay.
You just made their commercial.
So you said that this is, you imagine this, what we're doing right now is picking the music for the loading screen of like a
Right.
game. What would the video game Cheddar Scratch Kitchen be?
Oh God,
I know that wasn't originally part of this.
I don't
But I'm
know.
thinking if we're doing loading
Yeah.
screen music, we at least need to think.
What would your mom's video game be?
I think the game would be how much food can I get for the least amount of money
Yeah. Okay.
to where
like
I
that.
just have to get rolled out the door.
Yes.
Like, can I gorge myself for less than 20
Right.
American dollars?
How many spinach cheese dips can a human body withstand?
It's-
7.
It's like an inventory management game to where it's like how many things
Like-
can you fit inside of
like
this small
the-
space for the
yes.
least amount of money?
Yes.
There's a perfect. It's a cozy game.
Okay.
This is a whole genre coming up. There's one where it's called Unpacking Simulator, where the entire
Yeah.
point of the game is you are unpacking boxes. It'd be something in that style, but you're like having to like,
Pack things.
yeah, you're having to pack things up and like fit them together.
Yeah.
But it'd just be like Wait, since it's your mom's, would it be a Facebook game, like where you have to match them
Oh,
together?
absolutely. Absolutely. Like,
it's not a console game.
Like, what was it, like Farmtown or some shit?
Farmville.
Farmville, yeah. It'd be like very akin to that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
There is, I think it's Resident Evil that may do this. I haven't played the games, but the Wolf has talked to me about them enough. It's like a briefcase, and you're like putting items in there, and the only way to have them in there is if they fit properly with the certain size squares. Is that right?
Yes, that's a very popular thing with a lot of survival games, like Escape from Tarkov.
Mm-hmm.
It's an extraction shooter where you go in with
Get it out. Ooh. I didn't know if it was going to be a cough or a burp or
There's
vomit.
almost friends with that.
What just
Sorry,
happened?
that was a burp.
That was a very moist one.
I had a lot of hot sauce on. I made a gas station sandwich at my house today. It was a fried bologna, fried egg with mayonnaise, cheese, and hot sauce on toast. And that's what that happens when you get older. It makes you have the wet burps.
It had to be toast because if it were
delicious.
not toast, then
would
it would just
seep through.
sop through the whole
Right.
bread. That was a
But-
good choice.
Yes, it's like you have to carry and stuff, and you have a very limited inventory space. So you have to think like, okay, I can take these 2 AK-47s, but I won't be able to fit as many meds, or I can fit a lot more meds, but I won't be able to fit as many bullets. So it kind of like forces you to think about how you're going to put things up.
I like that so much more than the weight system,
Yes.
like in Skyrim and stuff, to where you have a certain weight limit that you can carry.
I
like
mean,
a
I
capacity
fat roll
limit.
through the entire
Me too.
game.
I can't sprint in most games I
no.
play.
I get my-
Starfield is just my game of how do I get back to my ship without running at all, with all this stuff that I don't even know how to sell it. But yeah, I think I really like that system a whole lot more, where it's more like Tetris of fitting things into the squares.
It would be a knockoff Facebook game Tetris.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
what the game would be.
Speaking of Tetris, did y'all see that there's a kid that beat Tetris?
Yeah.
Yes.
The
What is
unbeatable
that?
game?
How?
Like, he got to such a high level that the game could no longer compute. So he won Tetris, and he was like 9. Like, that's awesome.
Was it just a matter of like speed of dropping?
No,
the
no.
things?
Like the little clip that I saw was like
Yeah.
the news clip where
Okay.
the anchor was just being douchey.
Oh yeah, that was awful.
He was like level like all 9s. All those points were all 9s, and you see the piece come down, and it hits, and it just stops, and the whole game goes and just like breaks because he's playing the NES copy.
Yeah.
And then the kid lost his flipping mind, which don't get me wrong, I would have too.
Yeah.
Right.
Because like there's no telling how many hours this kid sat there playing the game of Tetris
Yeah,
to
'cause
make it
the-
just completely break.
There'd be no save. It'd have to be one
Nope.
off.
Yeah, no
It's
save.
a one set.
Because you got to think he literally had a score so high it filled up the RAM of
Yes.
I mean, granted, the NES and the NES cartridges do not have a lot of RAM, but still,
But Tetris is such a small game,
right?
So
He's still like he literally like locked his NES because he got such a high score. Like that is such a like crazy achievement.
Well, they probably didn't even imagine that would happen when they made the
it was
game. They're
supposed
like,
to
there's
be
no way.
It was supposed to be like a never-ending game with shapes and speed.
Yeah.
And he got to the point that the game was just it gave up. it's like you win, man. I give up. I can't.
That's like our fan Sandy. She played a lot of Candy Crush, like to the point of numbers of levels I didn't know they existed. And then like the immediate area, she was very high up on the amount of levels that you can even accomplish in that game. And I think it is one of those games of it just doesn't end.
Yes, there's an image years ago that floated around on the internet where apparently someone's like grandma maxed out the amount of levels that you could get. Like there were no more levels that they had made, and she emailed the developer King. And they literally said, "Have you thought about playing other games?" It's like there's other games out there. You don't have to keep playing Candy Crush.
She's like, this is not acceptable. I need
Right.
to speak to the manager. She Karened him so bad. Not all Karens are that way, though.
No.
I left my mom.
So Cheddar's was what?
Cheddar's was
Mom
you
rock.
said it was mom rock,
Right.
right? Mom
The-
mom pop rock.
Yeah, your mom's playlist. So
Okay.
the loading screen music would be Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton, the radio edit.
Yeah.
And the game would be a Facebook game of like a packing simulator.
Yeah, Tetris style,
Tetris
trying
style.
to get it in as low amount of numbers as possible. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Who was unless y'all want me to go next, or y'all want to go next?
Yeah. What's your restaurant?
Huh?
What's your video game?
Tiny, you
I
breathed.
mean, it don't matter. I mean, I'm just going off the cuff.
I like that.
Like, see, there's nothing up the sleeve.
Send it.
So
Send
off the
it.
top of my head, I'm thinking
Send it.
Golden Corral. Breakfast edition.
Oh,
Because that's the only one
that's the
worth
good
going to.
version.
Yeah.
Oh, how dare you!
That's the
sir.
special edition.
How dare you invoke the deep lore?
I mean, like it's the perfect breakfast food when you want to gorge yourself. I mean, you know.
Golden Corral breakfast, if you go at peak time, is the best breakfast buffet you
It
will
is.
encounter.
What was the ratio though that we came up with? It
Well,
was
the
every
ratio
2 out of
is for
3?
dinner. You know,
Okay, breakfast doesn't have the ratio.
No,
breakfast
Slaps
I've never
every time.
had never had it off.
Okay.
Time. It's 3 out of 3 every time.
And what's the
See,
ratio?
dinner is like one out of every 3 is good.
That's right.
The other
Okay.
2 are the worst dining experiences you've ever had.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why you go just for breakfast, and that's only on the weekends.
So, what type of music would you have for when it's like all bangers, but only at a certain time of day?
Well, I see it as like a dual genre.
Okay.
country
So-
and western.
Kind of. Like
Good Blues Brothers for you.
like it eases you in with some like old school country, you know, like some Merle
Okay.
Haggard, you know, all that just eases you in. And then, you know, later there's a switch. There's a
Metal?
switch that flips and it goes to straight just grunge.
That's when the digestion process starts, and you have your timer set to
Is
get
it,
into
is
the
it
bathroom.
starting or is it stopping?
Like
'Cause
when-
that's debatable.
Like when the lights are up in the place and everything's all super bright and everybody's having breakfast, like everything looks all nice and good, and you're listening to like I turned 21 in prison, living life without parole. Mama tried.
That's like when you walked in, you're just getting your first plate.
Yeah, and then but by the time that the dinner hits, it's just come as you are. Because those lights dim down
Yeah.
and they notice that beautiful bright checkered pattern is actually flannel.
Transitions over to stained.
You're on your 4th plate. There's no end in sight. You keep lying to yourself and saying, "I'm saving room for dessert," and then you get more watery boiled mac and cheese.
You have got a bowl of mashed potatoes made on your plate filled with macaroni and cheese, and you were just eating from the outside in, and just every time the bite goes into your mouth, now that you're here, so far away, you're just crying to yourself, but the salt from your tears is flavoring it more.
You're looking into the heart, the soulless eyes of the man cooking that steak, and you just hear, "Hold me down. I'm 6 feet from the hills, and I'm hanging on."
I'm imagining.
Was that a joke that he's wanting to mix all the flavors at the Coke machine? 'Cause I feel like
I'm imagining sitting like it. The feeling is like this: you're sitting on the front porch with your besties, in rocking chairs, just kind of rocking back and forth with a glass of sweet tea, right? Enjoying one another. You don't even have to say words.
Right.
It's just the cool breeze sitting on the front porch. You hear the creak. You got the dog next to you.
the occasional fart.
The occasional fart. But it feels so good. Nobody even laughs because
Right.
everybody's like, that's just
Yeah,
life
it's
right
like, I
now. It's
get
just
that.
happening.
Yeah, yeah.
I get it. But then like a white flash happens, and it's like a nuke in the distance because it happens so fast you don't even realize it. And then when the screen comes back on, you're rocking back and forth on the toilet, sweating in the same like the same way you were sitting on
Right.
the rocking chairs, but you're on the toilet now, and you're all just crying. And it's like it's a
all
public
just stalls
restroom
beside each
It's
other.
a public bathroom, but there's no
why'd I do
walls
it?
between the toilets, so you're all just sitting there next to one
Pretty
another.
I know that I hate gravy, but why did I just have to lube everything up with that nacho cheese sauce?
I
Sounds
think
like a diesel motor starting in the cold.
At one point,
And that's just your belly. That's not anything
at
else.
one point, somebody thinks that we're trying to drown a cat in the bathroom.
I think my favorite part about the Golden Corral is the side quest wizard
at the bathroom.
that randomly hangs out next to
sitting
the
there.
bathroom.
Talk about smelling like teen spirit.
He always sits next to the door.
They have to still be there, right? I mean, we spoke that into existence.
Every time I've been, that chair's been there, and every now and then I look, there's a super old bearded man sitting at that chair adjacent to the bathrooms.
That's just Papaw waiting for his omelet to be made.
It's so far away from the omelet station.
No, I
mean,
think that's the waiting zone for when you know it's gonna happen. I think that's just the old man, like, well, I finished my first plate. Hold on a minute.
I think next time that I'm there and I see him, I'm gonna walk by and he's gonna whisper something like, "Hello, weary traveler."
It's like the on-deck circle in baseball. He's just over there with the weights on the bat, swinging it, just getting ready to be next up in line. Because when you're there, you can't really stand and wait your turn. It needs to be a sit-down.
Pretty much.
What would the game be? Is it just constantly going and seeing this wizard, and it's like a roguelike to where you go in and you're going to fail every time eventually, but then you restart back at the wizard, and then he gives you a little bit more advice on what to consume first?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's like Enter the Gungeon.
Okay.
Where it's a bullet hell roguelike where when you start playing it, the first round is very fun and very like first couple rounds, you're like, man, I'm having a great time. I'm sitting here, I'm getting better. And then by the third round, you've played this game so much, you're locked in. Your eyes are dead inside. You're functioning more on base instinct than ever thinking about having fun at this game. And you know you're going to die right before you get to the boss.
Austin, you may have the classroom.
I like to imagine my Golden Corral as if I'm playing a video game while on mushrooms. So it's a side scroller, much like your Super Mario Brothers, and it's going to side scroll, and you got to go through these different levels. On all of your different baddies you're facing up against are the different creatures that are based off of the foods you're at the parts of the bar.
So it starts off with breakfast monsters, and the further you get into the game, it becomes like lunch and dinner monsters?
It doesn't matter what part of the game you start in. You always have to start with the left part of the bar, which is always the salad bar. So you're always going to have to fight your salad wedges, and you're going to have to fight through your different grated cheeses.
What's over there in the morning? Is it just salad
Salad
also?
bar.
Still salad.
It's
yeah.
still salad in the
Always
morning?
salad.
I didn't even notice.
Always
you
salad
can get
bar.
a Caesar salad at opening time on
Perpetual
breakfast.
salad.
Sometimes at 6 a.m. in the morning, nothing sounds better to a person than a Caesar salad.
You must have had the worst night in the world to be waking up at 6 a.m. and thinking, I want cold lettuce. I need something that's so bland and set right after the night I had.
Well, it's kind of like stretching. You know what I'm saying? like if you've ever played sports ball, I mean, here's how I view it. Because look,
it'd be like the tutorial level in the game.
Yeah, I'm one of those. I get a breakfast salad if I go to a breakfast bar. Why?
It's there.
It's there. Do I really want it? Not really, but I do like salads and.
It like
I
warms
got to
up your
get some kind of
esophagus.
vegetables, and it like back when I played sports ball because I played football.
He did.
Little known fact, I did.
did.
Yeah.
I seen it.
Before a game, you'd have to like touch your toes and like jumping jacks and all that to get your body acclimated to the physical trauma you're about to induce to it.
That's why I never played.
So that's why they have a salad bar.
But I thought a side scroller like that might be pretty fun. But a side scroller set to that same kind of theme, like.
So
Like
are you
Cuphead
saying that the
difficulty.
ending is the ice cream machine at the very
God,
end?
what would the final boss soft serve?
Fondue.
The final boss would be the chocolate fountain, and you'd have to fight. You'd have to shut down the chocolate fountain, but there's also a glitch in the game that if you accidentally hit this specific part while you're fighting the final boss too many times, it transfers you to a different dimension, and the chocolate fountain still remains, but you're actually in the bathroom.
Because the end boss of every Golden Corral is a chocolate fountain.
Yes, it's true. That's the glitch boss.
Oh God!
Because sometimes you eat Golden Corral and you're like, I don't remember eating something to cause this. Like sometimes you take it easy. You're like, eggs, bacon, a little bit of sausage, maybe a piece of French toast. Oh, this is good for the amount that I've paid. Maybe a little juice.
Good
All right.
omelet. You know?
But that's just plate number one, and that's where the problem comes in.
Yeah.
Because when you play this game,
You got to get it down to the
keep
Madala
playing
amount.
it. You can't just hop on, play 20 minutes, and get off. It's a
Right.
3-hour venture, and you
like
got to get
Cuphead.
ready.
Absolutely.
It's a no save.
Absolutely.
That's the other part about the video game. It's a no save. But the later you get in the video game, the darker the levels become and the more grungy the music becomes.
I like to think there's also like a Men in Black flash on the screen at the end that makes you forget you even played the game. So the next time you get into it, you forget what this is going to cause. Like by the end,
Because you always go back
Kind
to
of like
Golden
Men in
Corral.
Black 2, kind of halfway remember when you start doing
a
stuff.
little bit. Yeah, it's a little fuzzy while you're going through it.
Like you
and,
hit pizza and you think, oh God, I think I remember something bad. There's a bad smell on the wind.
And the Corral Wizard is the one person that remembers all. Like, and that's why they can give you little hints whenever you start.
That's why.
'cause if he told you all of it, your brain would melt.
Yeah, that's why he's off in the corner.
Yes.
Just segregated from everyone else.
He's the
And
watcher.
he is the oldest one there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, Willie
He
Trevor.
is the watcher from the Book of Enoch.
But the thing is, he's 27 years old.
He's you.
He's aged
you.
3 times over.
But how many times has he been 27 years old?
Right.
That's also a great point.
That causes him so much discord.
Hell
Like, you
yeah.
have no idea. There's a link down in there in the description. Click on that money. You'll get over there. You'll find out where we're at, and you'll learn what we're all about. It's a good time. Join us. We're on there live, uncut, uncensored, and irrevocably circumcised.
all of those.
All of those things.
Do you want me to do mine, Austin, or do you want to do yours?
We could have a local meetup at the GC.
Oh, geez. We could have a Golden Corral breakfast.
We could do that for like all of our local listeners.
We could start with an inaugural Grapevine breakfast.
Would that be called the shittening?
GV. GV.
We had the smoothening.
That is a cult meeting, by the way,
That is
because
shittening.
someone will die by the end of it.
GV at the GC.
GV
Boys.
at GC.
Can I say something?
No, yeah, go
You
ahead.
just did.
Got him.
Can I ask a question? You already asked one.
Go on.
So, can I just say, I know this may be blasphemous. I do not like the Golden Corral.
Nobody likes it. Like,
Yeah, don't get us wrong.
Don't get
Okay.
it
We've
twisted.
spoken
Okay.
well of the breakfast, but
breakfast
none of
is
us
the only
leave
one-
happy.
No, not really.
I may have partaken. I may have done some gardening before we got into the sack today. So I just wanted to make sure that this is known because although my wife, God love her, my wife, she loves the Golden Corral.
Okay.
If it was up to her, we would go to the Golden Corral every time. Same with the Panda Garden, which is like the new game plus of the Golden Corral. She loves it.
We had this discussion yesterday. I enjoy the Panda Garden. Like, is it the best Chinese food I've ever had? No.
No.
Will I get diarrhea? Yes.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty good. Unless you go to the one in our hometown, which you'll die.
You'll die.
Don't
Hey,
do that. Nobody.
3
go
out of
there.
4 gathered yesterday at the Chinese buffet. Super American.
Super Hibachi Funtime Cowboy USA #1 Subaru Uwu. That's what it's called. Like,
And I
it's
only-
got the longest name
Can
of
I
all
have-
time.
hold on. Let's all have a silent, just a quick inhale of silence. I want to hear it one more time, Tiny. What is it called?
Super Hibachi Funtime Cowboy USA #1 Subaru Uwu.
How am I going to fit that as the title of this episode is the question.
I'll text it to you so you don't forget it.
And I had 1.5.
And that is all one word.
And I had 1.5 full plates of sushi, no sauce, and only had 1 Hershey squirt incident. So I considered the whole trip a rousing success.
I was wondering if we'd ever get to talk about this today.
About that trip.
I've had 3 different bowls of chili that I produced this morning.
You paused like you were trying to think of a non-gross way to say it, and instead you went with the most descriptive bad visual that you could possibly say.
It had beans in it. When did you have beans?
It's like whenever you're getting your nachos at the gas station, you want to get chili and you just push the little button.
It's a puree, but you know it's chili, but it's like dog food version of chili.
Because I had some sushi and I also had some bar food, and I was like, this I didn't overindulge. I'm gonna be just fine. I wasn't miserable. This morning I got up, I had just a sip of coffee, and then I had my exercise.
There's where you went wrong.
Yeah.
You didn't give yourself time
Right.
to really think about it, for your body to think about
But
it.
I would rate the overall experience 5 out of 5 stars. Like you should rate us 5 out of
great
5
idea.
stars, where you can rate us 5 out of 5 star difficulty or for fun time, you know. So who are we doing the next restaurant for? I forgot. We got
Dane.
Paper, rock,
distracted.
scissors. Ready? I win. I got you to play. I win.
There was scissors and a rock, though.
Were there?
Yeah, I saw your scissors and his rock.
Was there though? Or
Yeah.
did you see these two fingers as my rock and these two as my scissors? So
That's cheating, but whatever.
I was straight rocking it, boy. Always throw rock.
rock,
are they gonna-
fingers are so much better than fist.
what are they gonna do?
Dwayne the Rock Johnson beats everyone.
It's about drive. It's about power.
Always
He stays
throw
hungry,
rock.
he devours.
What are they gonna do?
But what are they going to do? Nobody's going to think you're going to always throw rock. The Rooster would be here right now winning every single game because surely he won't throw rock again. Oh, look, he did. He and I have made actual bets on things and decided in the end by paper, rock, scissors, him knowing that I know he only throws rock and sometimes I lose. Explain that. Explain that. Anyone? No, I can't explain it. It's like you black out before you throw it. He knows how to control your mind
It's
into
like
throwing scissors.
It's like you gotta start the game over, but you gotta put in a specific code first. If you forget to put in the code first, you don't know the way it's gonna go. It's because you're thinking just paper, rock, scissors. Okay. Oh shit, he always throws rock.
Yeah, every time.
He's like reverse psychology so hard you. Holy shit!
We laugh too hard. It's
You scrambled me.
He left us from reverse to regular psychology.
He reverse psychologied you so hard that he's making you second guess a known fact.
Right, a
Like
100% fact.
That's how cults work.
That's
Like,
called gaslighting.
He's gaslit you into
Yes.
thinking, but what if he doesn't?
Like the one time he doesn't throw, I can't imagine it. I can't in my head because I'm even thinking of something funny. You know, the day he throws paper, it's not going to happen.
You physically can't see his hands
You
in a
will
paper
open
or
up his
scissors.
casket in the ground and he'll just have a fist holding up. Somehow his eyeballs are still there, just staring at you with a fist, and I'll still lose.
You should talk him into playing Boulder Parchment Shears instead.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Because he'll just forget, and then he'll throw shears or something.
Yeah.
He'll probably still pick Boulder.
He'll somehow. I don't
No,
know.
he'll just be like, "It's not rock, it's boulder, so I got to do something else."
Maybe.
Try it next time.
I bet he could take a rock and cut a piece of paper perfectly straight through with it because he's like, all I need is rock. And the paper, it's also rock.
Everything
That's just
is
how
rock.
that's just how he does it. BDubs, Buffalo Wild Wings is a restaurant I was thinking that needed a loading screen type of music. And I got to thinking, okay, type of music, no, there's a specific artist. And Drake is the one that I'm thinking of because BDubs, it is a sports bar. They do play sports, but at the same time, no one there knows anything about sports, like ever. No one working there. All the bartenders I've ever dealt with, none of them even like watch the sports at all. Like while the game, not that they're not watching there while they're working, it's they just don't watch the sports.
Do
Period.
people actually go there and watch sports ball?
Some do.
That's weird. Why not watch it at your house?
I don't know. Well, there's not, I guess, beer and wings at your house. There could be.
There could be.
There could be. But the thing is, like, so Drake, for those of you who don't know, a.k.a. all three of you, he's a big Toronto Raptors fan because he's from Canada. But at the same time, I imagine him not really knowing anything about, it's a basketball team, Tiny, not really knowing
Okay.
Austin, you two.
I mean, I was
you know?
thinking maybe
I thought
hockey,
it was a hockey
Yeah.
team.
because
No, okay.
Canada's known for hockey.
They
I don't
are.
think they did anything else.
They have a basketball team, in the
Weird.
Toronto Raptors, but I imagine him not really knowing anything about the sport, and he's just sitting there courtside, as always, right next to the team because he can afford it, and he's just watching the crowd, waiting for everyone else to like jump up and cheer, and just that millisecond of him waiting for that reaction, then he joins in bigger than everybody else, so everybody can see he's the big sports fan, but he doesn't really know anything about it at all. Period.
I would imagine the
Interesting.
music if you're setting a loading screen for this.
Yeah.
That it's going to be jock jams. Most likely something like Space Jam, something like that in there. That kind of like anthemy.
Yeah.
That anthem.
Yes.
Space
It's,
Jam.
so, but it would be Drake covering it, but
Incorrectly.
but at karaoke, so you can hear the actual lyrics happening in like the spaces they're supposed to be, but Drake's just a little behind.
Just a little.
So, but he's getting the words wrong just a little bit. It's a,
Hold
come
on.
and jam and welcome slam to the jam.
Wait, when you said Drake, did you mean like somebody you know Drake or like the quote unquote music guy Drake?
The
quote unquote music.
pop rap Drake man.
Okay, so
Because-
when you said Drake, for whatever reason, I thought that whole story was revolving around a guy that you knew.
Person
named
I
Drake.
know? No.
Yeah, so I was going.
The
No,
most
the-
specific call out.
I'm
the
making
well-known-
personalities on the well-known man, Drake.
Okay.
The artist man.
Now I'm tracking.
Okay, cool.
I was very
I'm
confused.
and
I'm
I'm
like,
just,
what?
and I'm just saying that the theme songs would be him just trying to sing along to those old jock jams on a karaoke style, but getting them wrong
Yeah, I got that
because
part.
he thinks he's very smooth, but not here.
Which I mean, even at BDubs, sometimes there's an occasional banger here and there, food wise, and also the games that are on.
Yeah.
And with Drake, he's got a few bangers out there, but there's a lot of it that I'm like, this is not a good version of what this is elsewhere.
Yeah, it would
just
be-
like their wings.
It would just be a Drake cover of a song that you like, because like none of the food is like exceptionally good there, but it's not bad.
And the younger you are, the better the food is there too, just
Yeah.
like Drake's music. The younger of a fan you are, the better his music is. And then the older you get, the more you experience, you're like, maybe that's not that great compared to everything else.
In my 20s, I could go to BDubs and I could easily throw down like 24 wings and not like
and love every bite of it.
and I'd just be like, this is amazing. These are such good wings. Just slurp them down. Because I eat wings like a caveman would.
He taught me how. You
And-
just put it in
And
pull out the bone.
You got to eat quickly. You got to eat efficiently. I'll show you.
I've moved to the bone twist pull out method.
I've also used that as well. But at Buffs, it's easier to do it my way. Anyway, now
I've done that.
as a grown man, I go to BDubs and I'm like, number one, who the French
Picked
valued your wings
They're so
at
expensive.
$1.75 a wing?
There's no way a chicken wing is that expensive.
Nor that large.
No,
Like
they're not that
No.
big.
Because those are like
They're
chicken-
wimpy.
Those are like chickens, but you call the like farm and they're like, welcome to Quality Farms. We're here to raise your chickens. What kind of chickens would you like? Like that's what if you've been feeding these chickens and do not have to worry about it.
They are big. You said they're small. I'm pretty sure they're pretty big.
No,
aren't they?
they're
Look,
huge.
compared to the great Cosmos, local
R.I.P.
place,
R.I.P.
no longer exists.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace, mighty soldier.
Humongous, amazing burgers
Like
too.
the biggest.
Their fried pickles. Are
That was
good.
the biggest wings I've ever seen. I'm like, I don't know if these comes from chickens or ostriches. So I got spoiled.
But those were like-
by the cosmic wings.
Those were
also,
the big boys. Though.
Also, thanks to DJ Strong Hands, I now know the secret to the cosmic sauce.
the thing about Cosmos wings were those were like actual like meaty like muscly wings as
Oh,
opposed
they
to
were so
like
good.
like the B-Dubs wings are huge chicken wings, but they're so fatty.
And they were like a quarter a piece.
Yeah, they were so cheap.
They eventually got up
There
to
was a
like
wing
45 cents a piece on wing night.
Hey, I
And
would,
then you go to B-Dubs because that came around at some point around the end of Cosmos.
I can remember getting drunk for
I
under
remember-
$20.
Yeah. I've
Man,
got
I
some
wish
wild
I could have
Cosmos
experienced
stories
that.
that's for another time and another
Back in my
place.
day, I used to sit in the bottom seat down at Cosmos. They had a hole in the
They
floor.
did, and that was the best spot.
It was-
Was the pit.
It's like somebody was going to lower your food down on a bucket.
Look, it had like a kidney bean table with like beer bottle caps and something can rest. Look, we're getting way off the beaten trail here.
There is no
but,
trail.
No,
But the thing is, then we go to B-Dubs, okay? And I was like, I'm going to try their hottest wings. They're blazing. And I got them. And I was like, what is this trash you brought me? So I got so just spoiled by good quality wingage that B-Dubs, it can kiss the fattest part of my rectum.
well, and that's the perfect
Dang
representation
near
of
killed
it.
them.
Because you have such good memories with these jock jams and like these music, like this song of like good times that you had. And you think, oh, I remember having like chicken wings and really liking chicken wings. And then you go to B-Dubs because it's the easiest place to get chicken wings.
I've got to shower.
And it's almost there, but you're more upset that it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you've had a smoked Moogie's wing,
Those are pretty good
So
too.
good. They're smaller, but they've not been, I think, jacked up by Arnold's chicken farm.
Yeah, but
steroids.
you got to get through the Guardian first.
The Guardian. There's a lady. I don't think she works there anymore. We might have talked about her on the show before.
Who's
Okay, for those of you who don't live here,
Are we talking about the lady that doesn't know Jack or the lady that's super mean?
the lady that doesn't know Jack is at least very nice. It's the lady that is so mean. Like, she was so mean. I had to get ready for her when I pulled up in the parking lot. I'm like,
case.
I know exactly what I want, but she's still going to be upset that I'm ordering food for whatever reason. And the cook, he was always super cool, like, and chill. And he was like very sarcastic.
Like 20 degrees, he's outside, man in the pit, just like,
Yeah.
making good meats.
And then she just hates everyone and everything.
He's upgraded to a shack. Okay.
You're
It's
right.
true. The shack
You're
is
right.
there.
I'm just talking back in the.
But yeah, I feel like BDubs is just, it's very, it's like radio wings. Does that
Yeah.
make
It's a
sense?
radio
it's
edit.
radio edit wings.
Yeah.
To where it just makes me think of Drake, because I'm like, even in the pop of rap, pop R&B, whatever he is, genre, there's still so many better options out there that you just haven't really heard of.
Yeah.
And then he's the radio edit version of
So
it.
so when that hotline bling, you don't really know what it means.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Exactly. But
It means that you're going to have some subpar wings for way too much
Oh
money.
my God.
I mean, I was trying to reference the song, but
Holy shit. Drake is the
Poorly,
spokesperson for B-Dubs, and the theme song is Hotline Wing.
oh yeah,
And
yeah.
It's such a
that's where I was going.
It's his
It- yeah,
custom.
but
Thanks, Austin.
It's
You
also
got me
yeah,
there.
that's-
Yeah,
it-
yeah.
It's not
together.
only the
It's
theme
good.
song, it's also a special edition wing sauce.
Hotline Wing.
and
yeah.
it's just a
Hotline,
generic sauce redubbed as something else.
And filled with edible glitter.
It's just Tabasco with edible gold glitter.
It's Tabasco and mayonnaise mixed together.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, that's actually good though.
It's called
You've not had
it's an
that?
aioli.
Oh, well.
Exactly, but they're going to say made with premium Tabasco sauce and market it as this big thing, but it's just aioli.
I want the
They'll
Tabasco-
probably heat it just a little too much where it breaks a little bit.
right.
Tabasco is premium at one spot and one spot only, and that is Waffle House.
Oh yeah. Wait, don't they have Cholula?
No, that's Huddle House.
I'll go with that straight up 57 sauce, boy. I need all them flavors.
What about the Waffle House Vidalia onion steak sauce?
I mean,
That's something? That's a thing?
yeah.
The way both of you just said that was so disappointing.
No, like I was disappointed that I didn't remember because that like on the it's like a Philly cheesesteak omelet like that.
Yeah, that stuff.
That stuff slaps hard.
So
Go on.
I'm a monster when it comes to Waffle House. So here's my Waffle House order. I get a All-American bowl with extra cheese, yes, 4 slices, scattered and chopped hash browns, white gravy, and ketchup. And that is my favorite thing.
You have the
I
ketchup
mix
and,
it,
like,
I
gravy
mix
mixed.
it all together and eat it because I'm a horrible, disgusting person.
I'll take you one just a little farther. I get something. It doesn't matter what I go with it, but I get the trip order hash bees. And I get everything except for capped. And they go, do you want gravy and chili? And I'm not a gravy guy, but I say yes. And then I 57 sauce that boy. And then I eat it like a disgusting, filthy man.
And then you go into that somehow always piss-stained bathroom.
I've never been in there. I refuse.
Oh, no.
I'll shit in the parking lot. It's a cleaner bathroom.
See, I have no poop phobia. If I have to go, the nearest bathroom is the best bathroom. I do not care.
I'm the same way.
I'll be
But those dirty needles, man, they kind of scare me a little bit.
because I have fast-acting IBS. So the second that thing starts hitting bottom, my rectum starts opening up. So I have to like just go, and I will skate through there with my Crocs and slide into the bathroom.
Do they have an ashtray next to the toilet in there?
They don't have one built in,
anymore.
but there definitely is one used there.
They used to have one that was a roll top ashtray they had inside of the bathroom.
The game that I want to attach to this, by the way, I think I want it to be a sports game, but whenever you're on the start screen, it just says
Wait, are we looping back to B-Dubs?
yeah.
Sorry.
This is
Okay, I
back
just
to
wanted
that.
be
Just
clear.
before we do that, it's not a Waffle House game. We couldn't
Sorry.
create something that good.
No.
You know,
No.
like we can't even fathom what that would be. But I think just to roll it along, the game attached to the B-Dubs thing with the Drake Hotline Wing being the opening music. You know how most games have their title screen and the press any button thing?
Yeah.
As soon as you press any button, the game just starts. Like, there aren't options. There's not like, you don't get to pick a save, you don't get to pick a load, nothing like that. It's just the game begins, and it's a sports game with just, they're combined in random ways. So you're playing like football on in a hockey rink, and there's a pitcher in the middle of it that's throwing, I don't know,
Auto's vibrating.
discs at you.
Oh, I have a moment. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
please have
So-
2 moments.
Remember back in like the early days of video games when you'd have licensed games, but they were like advertisement games?
Yeah.
This would be a plug and play BDubs game that you would buy at BDubs that had just a reskin of like an SNES video game, but redone really shittily to have a BDubs font.
Okay.
And it's just a plug and play video game that has no soul, no life, just made for cash grabs.
Can it be made by Tiger Electronics?
Yes. That is what it is.
That's an
got
old bull.
calculator
I
graphics.
like that.
Yep.
Calculator graphics.
And your grandmother bought it for you because she knows, oh, he likes sports. Look, we went to B-Dubs with Papa to watch the sports game. I'll get this for little Timmy for Christmas.
The way you get one to where you used to cash in, like, okay, you read so many books, so you get a basketball at Pizza Hut.
You turn
I'm
it
not
into-
making that up, by the way. That's a real
Yeah.
thing. Like,
Yep.
you used to get a
Yep.
basketball for reading books at Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
I got a
But it
personal pan
happened.
pizza for reading enough books.
See,
Oh,
for this,
wow.
I feel
How-
like
I feel like my mom just refused to tell me that because she would have ended up with so many basketballs.
too many basketballs. Too many. With this, you turn in the just sloppy bones of all the wings you've eaten there. So you got to bring
Oh,
like
God.
a Walmart sack full
A
of
gallon
wing
bag.
bones. Yeah, and that's what you turn in, and they hand you a Tiger Electronics Hotline Wing game that you don't even get to pick what sports game it is. It's just a blend of random shit when you turn on the system.
It's like a kid's meal from B-Dubs, a kid's meal toy.
Yeah.
Those Tiger Electronic games were some of the hardest things I've ever done mentally because I was a young man trying to. Oh God, I'm not trying to linger on that too much because that hurt me.
What do you mean?
Those games hurt me.
Yeah?
You could never beat them.
No.
They were 1 FPS. It was like,
And they had an input lag. Somehow
Oh,
they ran on a dirt cup and had input lag.
And you never got the one that you kind of would like enjoy to play.
no.
Like I got the soccer one. Do I
Yeah.
look like a soccer boy? No offense to people that are soccer boys, because I'm sure that's fine for you. But I'm an American football guy,
You had no use for
not
this.
not other places football guys.
But you'd still play it in the car when the sun was out.
Because you
I
would
mean,
leave
yeah,
it in the
I
car.
would
That's what you
because
had.
it was my only video game.
Yeah.
No, you would leave it in the car because you didn't want to take it inside. You'd forget, and then you're sitting there because back before cell phones, kids, you just had to exist. You'd find it in the car and like, well, this is better than staring out the window.
But then the screen has this like purple permanent like burn mark in it just from being in the
Sunburnt.
car.
Yep.
And it was only like 85 degrees out, but it still melted like the inside of the screen.
Yeah, but they were very sensitive, and plus, your little dumbass kid self couldn't help but thumbprint them. You're like, oh,
And somehow
that French and quick.
That's why touch screens were invented.
and they
Oh.
never ran out of power. That button battery is still as good
No.
to this day.
No, because you're like, maybe if the battery dies, I'll get a different one.
Button battery, son. I had some you had to put in your own AAA's.
Or they had inbuilt ones.
Yeah.
I was talking about the Happy Meal versions of
Oh
them.
no, I'm talking about the actual ones that you used to get as like these are video games.
Look, see, anything as a child that I got that had batteries that had a screw-in door, when those batteries died, that was a dead toy.
It was gone.
It had a
Like,
screw-in door.
Yeah, it's like no, it's like I know my parents own screwdrivers. I saw my dad work on the truck before,
But we're not
I
buying
mean,
batteries.
Granted, you don't use screwdrivers on a truck, but you know what I'm saying.
You go to turn it on one day and you pick it up and it feels a little bit lighter and it won't turn on. You're like, oh man, the battery's died. But really, your parents just took it out and put it in the remote control of the TV.
No, they never did that. They let it die au naturel, as far as I know, but it never come back.
I'm ready.
How ready are you?
restaurant?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay.
Drake's.
Wait,
Oh.
I just did that one.
No,
I mean, he did.
the restaurant.
Oh.
Oh, the mashup restaurant.
Drake's is absolutely the most identity crisis restaurant I've ever attended in my existence. You walk into the entrance and it looks like a lodge.
Yeah.
Like you're going to sit down and they're going to hand you like slabs of
Hold
meat.
on, you don't walk inside. You walk inside outside.
Exactly. That's
the,
what I
the
mean.
whole inside restaurant is also outside. Like it doesn't even know if you want to be in or out.
Like the entire front part right there looks like that's why I say like a lodge. Like it makes me feel like I'm inside, outside, outside, inside. Like
Like
at
a
the same
Bass Pro
time.
Shop.
Like there's a giant fireplace, everything. It looks like you're in a ski lodge kind
Is
of
it like
deal.
a Bass Pro Shop kind of, but like
no,
not
like
hunting?
every door is a roll up glass garage door.
Yeah.
So only like the corners are legitimate, like permanent, non-moving structures. So the walls raise, and now you're suddenly just in basically a tent. It's like, do you want to pretend to be homeless but fancy?
Then you walk 25 feet and you are in a sports pub
Yeah.
that like literally look. I mean, you got video screens up everywhere. You've got like this weird Irish pub style bar, like wraparound wooden bar in the middle. And it's like, what is going on here? And then you're like, okay, well, they probably have some really good bar food and maybe some good sandwiches and sushi.
It's a sushi restaurant.
It's
got
sushi, smash burgers, and like what's the
Pasta.
other pasta?
Like
They said,
it's-
how do we get
it's-
all the white people to try sushi at least once?
raw bar?
And that's what they did. They
Pretty
made this
much.
place.
That is the most white girl, white person sushi ever.
there
It's
is
all
a
just California
good
rolls.
quality tasting sushi.
Yeah, it's good.
There is
But yeah, it is. It's like, what does the white people like? Okay, we got to get tuna and we got to cook it. We
There's-
can't actually have raw fish sushi.
That's the whole point of sushi.
and then we got to
though.
drizz all this shit on top and then add cream cheese because, Becky over here needs that and the soy sauce and the wasabi and the ginger and yum yum for each individual piece all on there to where you can't even taste the rice
Sounds
or
like
anything.
your Waffle House order.
Yeah, but I'm also talking about my sister, so
The thing that Drake's kind of reminds me of is Unwritten.
Unwritten.
Yeah.
That's a graphic novel.
Unwritten.
Oh, music wise.
Oh,
I forgot we were still doing that.
Standing at the blank page before you,
It's-
open up the garage door window. But it's weird because it's like an episode of New Girl where Schmidt goes to this restaurant and they're talking about all the things that they have on the menu at this restaurant. And he's like, oh, they've got pasta and they've got fried chicken. They've got sandwiches. Oh, gyros. Okay, cool. Oh, they've got sushi. Oh, they've got a raw bar. Like they can't be doing all this right.
it's like when you go to the.
sorry.
right.
I'm 2 cans of liquid death deep, and they were kicking.
I'm surprised that one didn't explode.
I know. Well, it sat for long enough, and the dent in the lip actually kind of funneled it in my body faster,
Ooh.
which was not a good thing, but not because of the taste, but because of all the bubbles in my body.
Oh God. But like that was the first time I went to the Cheesecake Factory and I realized their menu is bound. I'm like, why are there so many things? They can't.
I think Drake's is like Cheesecake Factory light.
it's
Pretty much, yeah.
But without the
If-
cheesecake.
yeah.
The
If-
best part.
The
Yeah.
Cheesecake Factory is for like the middle class suburbanite in the city. I feel like Drake's is the middle class suburbanite restaurant for like around here.
Rural.
Rural. Like instead of a bunch of Teslas and crossovers being in the parking lot, it's lifted Silverados that have never once touched dirt.
Look, there's Rivian charging ports in front of our Drakes.
Oh.
So don't you bring Tesla in here.
I've
It's
got 4
Rivian.
words for you for just the best thing you can do when you go to Drake's: crab, rangoon, tempura, sushi.
that
It's a hot sushi. I don't like it.
That's the thing.
That's the most blonde-headed white girl sushi.
It is disguised as a sushi, but it's not actually sushi.
It
is
infuriated me when I tried
rangoon.
it.
It's crab rangoons with rice made into a sushi style roll, and it's delicious. Don't even think about it
I'm
like
not
cooked up
saying it's
sushi.
gross.
Like-
You ate
But it's
73
hot.
individual pieces of tempura sushi from the mediocre sushi
I
bar we
know,
went
and
to
they
yesterday.
were cold like they're supposed to be, the way God intended.
because like there's good fried sushi.
They-
I don't know why I just got so mad about that.
They were so
That was
cold,
real
like,
anger.
Like they were cold and squishy on the inside, so you bit into it and it like exploded. And they had
but
peanuts.
but you paid $15 for all of that sushi instead of $15 for a little bit of that sushi.
It's true. Drake should get like 6 pieces for that.
3/4 of the Drake sushi has something fried involved with it. And for me, like whenever I eat sushi, I want it to be more of like a clean feeling like food, you know,
Right.
so where I don't have all the sauces and the fried stuff. But it was good. It just wasn't to me very sushi.
Salmon nigiri. That's my favorite thing that exists when it comes to
is good.
sushi. Just salmon nigiri. The Taiko place in Cookville that we used to go to.
R.I.P.?
I think. Well, I don't know
Unless they moved.
I don't
No,
know
I
if they
think
moved.
Taiko's gone.
Is
I
it like
think,
gone?
yeah, I think
gone?
they're
Okay.
gone.
Gotcha.
That was like the only good like go get sushi place.
I don't
And
even care. The worm video came out about that, and I still eat it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, salmon not kept at the appropriate temperatures can be a host for parasites, and those include worms.
Yep.
That's
And
like you
disappointing.
did-
Put on your sushi.
Oh, you can get parasites from raw food? Wait for my surprise face.
Yeah, I mean, there's like I saw a video with like a whole ass worm in it.
I picked a toothpick up off the ground at Waffle House and put it back in my mouth.
I mean,
It was Huddle
That's a
House.
definite-
It was
It was Huddle House.
Huddle
Okay,
House.
okay,
I'll
okay.
never forget
That's
it.
different.
It was at a Huddle
That
House.
is different.
It was still
way
gross.
different.
yeah,
It is
like
gross.
That's
but
gross. But
I got
it's
COVID.
not
Don't
life
defend him.
threatening.
Don't defend this.
Well, here's
People
the
don't
thing:
know
Waffle House that will threaten your life. You're gonna die if you do that.
I mean,
there.
I got COVID-19 in 2005 from picking that up off the flow.
He was patient 0 and no one knew.
Nobody knew.
yeah, but patient 0 of a
got the
Waffle
gonorrhea
House.
for herpelitis.
I was
Yeah.
so upset when he did that.
Patient 0 of a Waffle House will be The Walking Dead. Like,
Hey, I mean, I've been to the Waffle House and I've seen the homeless people outside.
The waffling
they're
dead.
already there.
By the way, the guy with the inside track on all the information for when the Waffle House is going to be built, I'm playing a concert for him here in a couple months. So
Okay.
I'm going to
Is
do
it? Yeah. Are you going to get some info?
I don't
I'm
even
gonna do
think
some
they
deep
broke
dive.
ground yet.
They haven't. I'm going to
No.
get some info on it because I need to know. I mean, it might
Yeah.
be on a need to know basis, and by God, I need to know.
I'll break
Yeah.
knees if
but-
they don't break ground.
But Drake's
Right.
Drake's would be a restaurant that it could be multiple things. Like every room has a different. I think the overarching like theme song is like Unwritten. That song. That song. Yeah. But every room has a different vibe to it. So what do you feel when you walk into the lodge room, Tiny?
I feel like that I got a hug from my Uncle Alan.
like, that's a good.
That's a good thing, yeah.
Okay, good. I was hoping
And
so.
Uncle Alan's great.
I feel like
Okay.
I should
He's
be
one of the best
in
dudes
a
I ever
soft
met.
sweater. Like he's wearing a soft sweater when he does it, to where it's like warm and
He's more of
soft.
an overall kind of man.
Oh, okay.
But he's like old school country mountain druid backwoods guy.
It's like
Gotcha.
So it'd
Smells
be-
like a campfire, but there's
Yeah,
no
like
campfire in sight.
zombie apocalypse happens.
Yeah.
I'm going there
He's the one to
because
go to.
he doesn't even need a spoon. He can survive without it.
Gotcha. So you feel safe.
So it'd be kind of like if you were listening to like Christmas music. Like Christmas music that was sang by, I don't know, like an old school artist.
I could see
like
that.
Johnny Cash's Christmas.
Johnny Cash.
We're home for Christmas.
Did he ever do a Christmas album?
He had to have.
He's
Surely
done
did.
Christmas
Did he?
songs,
He
but not
has-
a Christmas album.
He covered a 9 Inch Nails song. I'm sure he's covered like Jingle Bells or
He-
The
he-
Silent Night at some point.
Like he has performed Christmas songs,
Uh-huh.
but there's no Christmas albums. I mean,
We should
But-
curate that.
yeah.
But this is in a world where Johnny Cash released a Christmas album, and it's all your mom, like your dad's favorite Christmas songs done with Johnny
Hold on,
Cash.
I got to make sure I'm not wrong on that because
That he didn't have
I
a
just-
Christmas
I
album,
just
because I
feel
can't
like I'm
imagine
wrong.
one. But so when you walk in, does the music change?
Yeah.
Like
it's
Unwritten
Disney.
is when you get to the parking lot.
Yeah, Unwritten is playing in the parking lot, and then you get
Okay.
to the different zone. That's going to be the entry zone. That's going to be the lodge. That's going to be your Christmas music with a classic artist singing it.
Baby, it's cold
like-
outside.
Babe, yeah.
It's Johnny Cash singing "Baby, It's Cold Outside."
Can't stay. And
Yeah.
June is singing. Yeah, the other part. Yeah,
I think
that
that's
makes
good.
sense. That makes
so
Yes.
he did have one called
it's canon.
Classic Christmas. I don't know what we're canonizing, but okay.
Johnny
Oh,
Cash and
gosh,
June Carter.
I want that now. I want
singing
that
it.
so bad.
But AI can do it all. But it's like Disney World for those who have. I got to go to Disney World. In Disney World, you don't even know that the music changes until you like. Oh, the music changed. Every zone has its own individual sectionalized music zone, and you'll only hear that music in those zones for the specified areas of the park you're in. It's insane. I didn't think about it that much at the time, but that's how it do. So it'd be the same thing for Drake's. You go through one zone, you got unwritten, you got the second zone that's going to be your classic Christmassy stuff, and then your third zone. What's the third zone? Who wants to do the third zone?
What was the third zone?
Third zone's like a confusing Irish sports pub.
The Dropkick Murphys.
Like
Like
Did you say
that-
Drop Dick Murphys?
Dropkick Murphys. Sorry.
Okay.
It has been cold outside.
My body locked and I panicked and I thought anal bleaching and I'm like, what?
Hold on.
No, the
That's
drop-
where my brain went.
The Dropkick
How
McMurphy.
wrong that
Yeah,
was.
sorry, but like that genre of music where it's
Why
like
did I say that out loud?
it's like shipping down to Boston plays at every sports one, but it never feels overplayed for some reason. But like it always gets you in the mood for like, yes, sports, and then you're like, I want to listen to like some Irish like actual like folk music, and you're like, oh, this is not this.
This is very
What's the
different.
song
I prefer
that
Flogging Molly.
I've heard?
Yeah.
What's,
Same vein.
What's
Yeah,
the song
same-
that I've
same
heard
idea.
76,000 times? That's on every kind of like, oh, there's going to be beer with hops in it. Dun, 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 dun,
Shipping up
dun,
to
dun,
Boston.
dun. Is that it? What it's
Yeah,
called?
here, I'll pull up a 30-second.
Why do you know that?
Because he's auto.
That's a good
Why does he know
question.
half?
Why do you guys know
Why
what
do
you
we know half the things?
I mean, he's right.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
You don't need your phone. It's
I
okay.
trust you.
But
You
we'll
don't-
just
yeah.
we can just post it in the Discord for people to have
There's
later.
3 people that,
Right.
well, 2 people that agreed with you. You're right.
Yeah, you're
so
good.
the reason I know that is because one of my special interests is music, and I have, I think, 30 Spotify playlists, and that is on like 3 of them, and a couple of those are gym playlists. But
get you pumped.
I know so much music, and there's so many other things I probably should know, but I know way too many music things.
They make you happy. Do
They
you
do.
know what would be in the fourth zone?
Oh, that's the restroom.
The restroom.
The fourth zone is the restroom?
Yeah.
Oh. What does it look like?
What-
I didn't go.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Scratch that. There is an actual.
There's another room.
There is an actual outdoor patio area.
Truth.
And the outdoor patio area is going to be
There's a guy in your yard.
It's a girl, and it's my girlfriend.
Oh.
She lives here.
It's winter. We have.
We're
to
just
bundle
not
up.
going to tell her that I said that because I just saw
unfortunately-
jacket
No.
and back of head,
She
okay?
has a pixie haircut, and she's wearing a beanie, so it's perfect.
And I just saw it from the back of head.
There you are.
So,
So that's
sorry, Carly.
fantastic.
I'm still your friend, I hope.
We were in a store one time, and I said, "Yes, sir," and it got some people behind the counter confused whenever I was talking to Carly about it. That was great. Anyway, I think that the fourth zone is going to be island jams. It's going to be
Okay.
because you're going to have the outdoor patio area that has like kind of
Knock off Jimmy Buffett.
just knock off
Zach
Jimmy.
Brown Band.
Yeah, Zach Brown. Got my
Or
toes
Kenny
in.
Chesney.
Yeah, it's somehow the outdoor parking lot area and the patio area's music never collide. So you always have that same thing happening. You go into the magical zone of unwritten. But if you take an immediate turn into the patio area, it just got my toes in the water, ass in the sand.
So on the way there, you really got to know what mood you're in as to where you're going to ask to be if you could sit somewhere specific. 'Cause I feel like if you show up to a place like that, you don't want to just end up where they put you because all of those things are very specific, I feel.
Also, the red chairs are very small.
They are very small.
Yeah, I sat in one and it was miserable.
They're the bench seats they have that are
Way
elevated a little
better.
bit. Those
Yeah,
are
those
much
are
better.
good.
Yeah,
Actually,
Those
Long.
red chairs were miserable.
Drake seems like more of a place that would serve the never ending red sticks, actually, in
True.
real life.
Now that you think about it, Never Ending Red Sticks
Oh
would
God!
probably be
Oh
there.
God! It is. It is.
Yeah,
Hey, would
Drake's
you-
Never Ending Red Sticks.
Hey, for $4.99, you can get our never ending red sticks, but it's $4.99 per person that's going to be eating them. How do you know who's going to be eating them? You'll know.
You'll know. You'll know.
You always know who's eating them red sticks.
What game is this gonna? What's the gameplay?
At Drake's, it's going to be a tower defense game,
Oh, okay.
and your different stations are going to be different terrains as well too that you have to take advantage of for
So it has,
different kinds of meals.
Yeah.
So for the different zones, like you've got to defend the zone that you showed up to be in.
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha. See, I'd want to be in the Johnny Cash Christmas zone,
I think
fighting off everybody else.
I want to be in the knockoff Jimmy Buffett zone.
Well, I don't think there's food in the Johnny Cash Christmas zone.
There is.
Oh, I thought that was just like the you know,
There's
how
like
many
a-
people is there going to be here today?
No, there's an initial doorway, and then you walk in.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
There's an initial garage.
There's
door.
so many. It's weird.
it's
It's such a
weird.
weird layout. And when you
It
leave,
is.
you don't leave out the door you came in. You got to walk through the little patio area
Yeah.
for the exit
You can
door.
just walk out. You can exit through any wall that you choose.
yeah, when they're open. Yeah,
You
when the
feel
walls
like a
are up.
ghost.
Yeah.
I've actually never been to Drake's.
It's not a bad experience food wise. It's
Get the
confusing.
pretzel sticks.
It is
Oh,
confusing.
they have pretzel sticks?
Oh my god, dude! It's like
Dude, I love pretzels.
they're like sourdough breadstick things, but they're pretzelized, and you got a cheese dip and the most aggressively horseradish mustard. It looks like cheap yellow French's, but it's not. It is all super delicious.
Drake's is they them, and we don't ask them any questions.
pretty much.
Yeah, we just leave it at that. And I would pay attention to the advertising screens for the restaurant itself, because that's where you actually get to see some pictures of some of the weird things they have there, because you're going to be looking at the menu like, I'm not sure what all this stuff combined together would be like. And sometimes they'll have pictures of it.
Like the
on
shrimp
the
grilled
skid.
cheese.
Yeah.
What? They have a
They had
shrimp grilled
they do
cheese?
like specials, like seasonal things.
No.
And in December around Christmas time, they had a Cajun shrimp grilled cheese. That sounded horrendous. I've heard it was good.
Oh, it might be.
Somebody that I know
but-
ventured to try it at some point.
I don't want to put shrimp in a
But
sandwich.
I ain't shrimp and cheese, man. That just don't sound like it goes
I
together.
once ate a seafood delight sandwich from Subway, and that had shrimp in the sandwich. And
You got shrimp from Subway?
Oh god,
Dude, he ate a toothpick. He put a toothpick in his mouth from Waffle House floor, from Huddle House floor.
Yep.
Their roast beef
And that.
has a iridescent sheen on it. And
Well-
you said, I want to get shrimp.
At
from
one
this
point, I
place."
had a friend who got the seafood delight sandwich, and I was like, you know what, that might be pretty good. So I got one, and I didn't get it the way that I should have. I got it toasted.
Oh,
So-
God.
you just hate yourself.
What is wrong with you?
Was this during the time that you really hated yourself and wanted to delete your own save?
Apparently
because
so.
that's what it sounds like.
Son, I'm talking like I've never had like creamy shits, except for the time that I did.
You got a $5 foot wrong, is what you get. A $5 foot wrong.
I feel like it's creamy and fizzy at the same time.
Oh, God, that shit. You know, like whenever you're speaking of Golden Corral, when you get the chocolate fun dip at the end, or like the chocolate whip at the end.
Did
The
you just
ice
say,
cream?
speaking of Golden Corral?
Yeah. Well,
That
you know-
was hours ago.
Hey, he
Yeah,
exists.
like that was yesterday, bro.
Hey, your existence might be on a different plane than his.
Listen.
He can be everywhere at once.
Otto's ways are higher than your ways.
It's the sequel that we never knew we wanted.
Sorry for-
It's called Otto Everywhere All
sorry,
at Once.
sorry for interrupting.
It's not my fault. My brain works in
Oops.
mysterious ways.
What happened?
It's all right.
My brain is not alphabetized. I don't believe in alphabetization. It's organized in the way that you organize fridge magnets, and you just kind of throw it all on there, and it's all there all the time, and you just kind of get access to it at random.
But anyway, speaking of Golden Corral,
Circling back to the beginning.
did I ruin it?
Oh no, that was the end of that statement.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, no,
The
that's
the chocolate at the end.
no. Okay, oh
No,
God.
that's what I'm saying. Like you were doing that. I know.
Oh, God.
Luckily, I'm paying attention.
That
Yes.
felt like a half story.
Yeah, like that didn't go anywhere.
I was like, what?
Is there a part 2 we get like
Sorry,
next week?
I've had
That's
snow
next week.
madness lately. For when you're listening to this episode, not at the time that it comes out, this is at the end of like we've been snowed and iced in for like 4 days at this point, and all of my brain has seen is white ice and blinding light. It's so confused.
My dog took 20 minutes to find a spot to pee this morning, and my eyes were so snowblind because of how solid, bright white outside it was that I walked in the bedroom. I couldn't see anything. Once I got to the bedroom, my eyes were almost fogged over like y'all folks with glasses. I've never experienced this before.
Look.
And then I took my jacket off and I threw it on the bed, and then my wife said, "Ow."
You didn't even see her.
I didn't see her sitting on the bed.
Look, if we're complaining about dogs going outside, okay? Now, to go outside for my dog, because, I mean, I'm not saying I sit around my house nude, but I live by myself. So I'm usually in just shorts.
Right.
Because, you know.
I need to come over more.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you. So when my dog wants to go outside at this horrible, horrible time, I got to put on my insulated overalls, and then I've been doing my Nerd It hoodie under a Carhartt like zipper hoodie thing, under one of my M65 flight jackets, and then I no lace into my hiking boots, and then I go outside and I'm still cold.
Yeah,
because I'm triple hooded at this point, and she takes like 45 minutes, and that's because
there's nowhere to go.
Well, she's got to get the zoomies because she gets the zoomies immediately out the door. 'Cause she's like, I don't know what are this, and like all of her sniffs are gone, and I'm sitting there shivering, praying for death to find me, and I'm like, will you go potty? And she's like, maybe in a minute. I'm like, but could you? She's like, no. And then she runs some more, and then I got to play with her because when she's all getting the zoomies, I think it's like the cutest thing. There's a video on the Discord. Y'all should check it out. And so I'm kind of laughing, but I'm also dying on the inside and the outside. And then she finally pees, and I'm like, cool. And then I have to do math to go, when did she poop last? Because if it's been too long, I got to stay out here longer for her to poop. And that's even worse. But I know when she starts digging in the snow, because she will not poop on top of the snow. She's got to poop on the grass. And being a girl and having to squat, I understand. Your stuff is so much closer to that snow. But I'm still going, can you please hurry? And she's like, nah, I'm good. And then I got to get
Rick.
like a ball of the snow because at this point I'm just like, if I die, I die. And then I throw it in the air, and she's like, oh, a ball. And then she grabs it, and then it disappears, and she's like, where did my ball go? And then she has to look around.
I get it. You're
I
outside
lost the
for a
whole
long
point
time.
of the story. Yeah, that's how
You're
long.
outside for a long
That's
time.
how long it takes my pibble to use the bathroom.
And I had to hold this in the entire time when you said it. There's that, you know how they make all these little dog movies that are meant for kids that have like the dogs doing the different stuff, like your super pets and all these other things like that, and your great I don't know, like the different lab puppies doing pup stuff.
Airbud series.
Yeah, the Airbud series, like the Buddies series. They
Yeah.
need to have one called Oliver Sniffs that's done by the Buddies, and it's a retelling of Oliver Twist with the pups.
I'd watch that.
Is there a part
So to
3
circle back to our circle back, whenever he said creamy shit, I imagine whenever you beat the final boss, whenever you go to face the final boss of Golden Corral and say, yeah, I'm going to get some frozen yogurt or whatever the hell frozen treat comes out of that machine.
Right.
The brown one was whenever he said creamy made my brain think of. So if anyone has ever wondered what it's like to have ADHD, the last 3 minutes of this podcast,
That's it. Yeah.
was that is how my brain functions most of the time.
Yeah.
My wife is a very patient woman.
Speaking of being a patient woman, she's waiting in the other room
She
for us to be
is.
done doing this show. So what I think is that we should try to imagine if we were to walk into a restaurant that is an amalgamation of all 4 of these shoved into one, and the host looks at you and hands you grapes. What are you going to do?
I shove them in my mouth and chew them real quick and ask, why do these taste like bacon?
What do I think of the Spice Girls?
Can I say something?
No. Yeah, go
You
ahead.
just did.
Got him.
Can I ask a question? You already asked one.
Go on.